Hello, and thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino. I'm going to be your host tonight. We're going to talk about an organization that is I found really interesting, and I'm going to start out by introducing Carl Vince, who is the president and one of the founders of the Sacred Few. Carl, why don't you start out by giving us a little backstory about how this all came about?
Well, thanks for letting us on tonight. I appreciate it. Feel honored. I got my brother there, Roy. He's in our chapter. The other guys are working, so it's just us two. Um, we belonged to a law enforcement motorcycle club before for a while, and then we decided to start our own. I'm one of the founders. Roy is one of the other founders. There's four of us total. Um, it's about doing charity work for law enforcement, firemen, first responders, or anybody, even children. Whoever needs help, we try to help. It's a brotherhood, and it's what's very important is brotherhood in our organization is not the word brotherhood is not given, it's earned. Um, Other than that, we really enjoy all being together and riding, and that's what it's about.
Well, I think writing in it by itself is a great release for all of us. I think it's wind therapy for me. Believe me, bar none, hands down. When I'm having a bad day and I can get on my bike and I can go for a couple-hour ride at least, it just clears my head and I just feel better. Get off that bike and I feel like a new person. So yeah, it does.
Exactly.
It does do a lot. Um, Roy, why don't you give us a little backstory on yourself and the club, what you do with the club?
Okay, I'm first of all, my name's Roy Shortino. My name actually for the Brotherhood is Evivo, Evivo, and
You can tell we're Italian, right?
yeah, exactly. Until I did my DNA test, you're kind of confused me a little bit, but I'm mostly Italian. But anyways,
They didn't make you do a DNA test before they let you in the club, did they?
No, just
no.
the prostate exam.
Ooh.
But anyways, no, it was something I don't know if I would encourage it. Some people are afraid of it. My daughter gave it to me for Christmas gift and it was okay. But back to what you're asking me. So I've been riding bikes, motorcycles ever since I was 14 years old. And then as I married and had children, 5 children actually, two by another marriage and three of my own, I kind of backed off on the bike because the wife felt that'd be a little bit safer at the time until they got older. And then I got back on a bike. Well, Carl and I, we've been riding together for some time now. And when we talked about getting this group put together, I thought, this is fun. In Southern California, you can't beat the weather there. It's quite different from where you guys are there,
Oh
where you
yeah.
guys are located, and even actually Las Vegas, which is Vegas is another residence of mine. It's a primary residence, but I get down there as often as I possibly can. But anyways, the weather here in Las Vegas, it's cold in the winter, it's hot in the summer. We have about 7 months of decent weather. And so if you guys are ever in this area, it'd be nice to do a ride with you over here. It'd be a
It
lot of
would be
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice place to ride. The problem with not having your own bike brought here, we always have the bikes that you can rent through Eagle Century. I think they're about the only ones that rent bikes anymore. I've tried through Harley dealers, and none of them seem to have. I don't know if you know that, car, but none of them have rentals anymore. Not the guys in Riverside or Temecula or
Or
anywhere. If
Laidlaw, or none of them.
pardon me.
Laidlaws either.
No. It's just it's through Eagle Century now. It's about the only place I've been able to find to rent a bike. If I'm going to rent one, if my bike's an operative or whatever. But anyways, when we put this group together, we brought together a group of guys that are all brothers. They're all law enforcement. Some of them, or maybe all of them, I can't. I think they all are, and I'm probably the only one that's not of law enforcement,
And
military,
CJ isn't.
and CJ. or fire department. I'm a person of the same mind. After many years of being alive, I kind of wish I would have gone into the military or served a purpose of some function for service to our community and what have you. And I'm hoping to do that through our club, to kind of make up from things that I haven't done in the past, as you guys have done, and serving our community. And I'm really
Right.
proud of you guys for doing that.
Well, it's really awesome that we can all get together and talk about starting this new chapter in Illinois. And Todd is a good friend of mine too. Todd was a first responder. Todd, why don't you give us a little backstory on yourself?
Well, gentlemen, yeah, my Tod Williams. 4 years ago, I retired from the Chicago Fire Department. I was a paramedic for 30 years. Um, I'm new to the game as far as riding. I was never on a motorcycle until after I retired, and ironically, it was actually at one of Michael's events that it was a raffle, and I won tickets or uh, riding school. You go to these events and it's a fundraiser, and it was a fundraiser for his canines group, and it's a donation. You don't expect to ever win. Well, I won, so I spent the weekend take the class, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Um, Fast forward, I didn't have a bike obviously, but my sister had an old bike that she could no longer ride or couldn't ride. Screwed around on that for a little bit and quickly realized I wanted one and I wanted something big or bigger. So I went out and bought a Harley. Um, I came full circle. I started riding with the Patriot Guard riders here, and I was introduced to them back in 2010 when my nephew was killed in Afghanistan, and these guys
Uh,
stood watch, and I was just amazed at their presence and their mission. And I got to know a lot of the guys in the group through going to these events and such. And I asked, can I get involved? And they were very welcoming. I love the idea of the mission and honoring the veterans. And as you guys were saying, being able to ride, with people and with a purpose. I mean, there's nothing better. I
Right.
I love every minute of it. Yeah, it's a crappy area to be riding but I rode all winter. If you would have told me 6 months ago I'd be riding in the wintertime, I would have said you're out of your mind. And I went out and bought heated gear, and I rode. If it wasn't snowing, I think I rode as cold. It was 15 above. So
Crazy.
yeah, and I've been told that even by the guys that
Crazy.
have been riding, their whole lives.
You didn't catch my ass out there.
But when Michael approached me about this idea in this club, and I said, well, first, my first thought was, okay, I'm already with the Patriot Guard, but there's no conflict really because they're totally different purposes. Charity riding versus missions for the veterans. It's not the same thing. So when he told me about the club out there, I'm like, this is a good idea. And we started talking a little bit, and he said that we can kind of make it the way that we want it as far as picking and choosing the charities. But you
yeah.
know, you said about the brotherhood. It's whether it's with riders, whether it's fire, or police, or military, whatever. People don't get it unless you're involved in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, some people that are involved in it sometimes don't get it either.
No, you're
You're right.
absolutely
You're
right.
right. They're doing it for the
We
wrong reasons.
correct.
You know, Carl, I when we first started talking, I was really excited about getting this thing up and running because just to be able to ride with a bunch of guys with the same purpose in mind for a charity, for a veteran, for a fireman, for kids, or for whatever we deem we want to ride for to help them. I mean,
Right.
we could escort veterans to their last and final resting spot. It's just we're just really excited about getting this chapter started, and to have your chapter backing us up. It's just great. I mean, we've got somebody to fall back on if we got any questions, any concerns about what we're doing, how we're doing it. We could reach out to you and say, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?"
Correct.
But to be able to do the rides that Todd and I want to do and select the ones that we want to ride with, that's the best part of the whole thing.
And
You know,
also at some of these other events, I forgot to say it last time I was on your podcast, but we also support other law enforcement motorcycle clubs. So they have a charity or they have something going. We go, we wear our
for
cuts, and we
sure.
go and we do that.
All
Like
hands on deck.
like
Right.
your other thing that you got going there, Todd, you could wear your cut to their functions.
Yeah, no, they're not. It's a very, it's not. They don't call them chapters. It's all obviously all volunteer, and it's we have ride captains and such,
Well, we do too.
but it's a very. There are guys that are in a couple different groups. But as far as I like I said, I ran it by the ride captain and said, hey, and he was actually interested in hooking up with this new group if he's able to do it. He's retired as well, and he's been riding his whole life. So there's interest, and I know Michael had said that he's got people that are interested in doing it, and I love the idea and any excuse to do something. I'm used to doing as you said, the brotherhood and doing things and line of duty deaths and all of that stuff that we did over the years, and then playing with I played bagpipes,
Oh,
so
nice.
that was I'm still play with the police and fire band. We combined kind of
Nice.
bands, and we do. It was established for line of duties, basically, but
I've been to so many police funerals, and the bagpipes is the only thing that gets to me.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's just a way of honoring, and this is just another way of doing it. I mean, you don't want to do those, but that's what it's there for.
It's perfect. The
I got a question. How long does it take to learn how to play those bagpipes?
Well, I started again. I started late. I've been playing for about 10 years, and it takes probably over a year to really start playing. Because you start playing on what it looks like, almost like a clarinet. It's called a practice chanter
Right.
before you even touch the pipes, and then it's like starting all over again. Because then you got to learn how to blow and do all of that crazy shit. But it's it's never too late to learn. Like I said, I've been playing. I started real late. There's
Well,
a bunch of us.
you've got a beautiful talent. I love those bagpipes myself. I think they've
Yeah.
got a wonderful
We
sound.
we have them. We have them at our memorial that we have in Shanahan State Park to honor
Yeah,
the
I've seen
fallen
them.
veterans.
Yep.
And we have dual. We have bagpipe player, and we also have dual tap players. They play
right,
tap dual, and it's
right,
just
That's very cool to
great
see.
sound.
right.
Great sound.
I was gonna screw with you, Roy. I was gonna say, yeah, you love the bagpipes since you found out your DNA, you're Scottish instead of Italian.
There might be a little bit of everything in there. I keep on saying I don't know what happened to all my great grandparents, but I think they were all attacked somewhere down the line. It's terrible.
Well, you'd be
Well,
surprised. In our band, we've got black guys and Hispanic guys and Irish guys and Asian guys. So
Right.
Irish
as,
by inclination, that's all.
as you could see, I just put a
Yep.
picture of the cut.
Yeah, it's
I
beautiful. Yeah.
I think
Yes,
it's awesome. I just think it's perfect. I really do. What do you think, Todd?
it's very cool. It's very
Yeah.
cool.
I can't wait to see the Illinois rocker on the bottom of
There
that.
you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Right?
so anybody watching that's in Illinois, that's where you are, they should contact you, Michael.
Without a doubt. We have we have a 5K walk run, where we're going to have over 300 people there, and we're going to have a table for canine, and I'm also going to have some information I'm going to print up uh, about the club.
Correct.
Anybody who's interested that rides,
Great.
I'd prefer them to be a fireman or a policeman or ex-military.
Or a few like-minded is okay.
Oh
But-
no, I get it.
but,
Yeah. Yeah.
But remember what I told you in the last podcast is that it's quality, not quantity.
There you
Without
go.
a doubt. I
There
want
you go.
who's ever thinking about coming on board and joining this chapter, their heart has to be in what we're doing and writing for these charities, raising money for these families or for our fallen veterans, our fallen police officers, because that's the purpose of what we're doing. We're doing to help our first responders
Correct. And
in any way we can, even escorting them. God forbid if there's a funeral that, we could help escort the body. It's just so many different things we could do. And like I said, I just think it's got a great purpose here in Illinois.
There's a lot of possibilities that I see. I mean, I've been thinking about and different routes that we can go, and like we kind of talked about, focusing on kids or whatever, but addressing where there's a gap, where there's a need, because we do have veterans groups or groups that are dedicated to veterans causes. How about I'd love to see focusing on kids too, kids of these people.
you'll
Right.
never run out of causes.
No,
Oh, right. I'm
sorry
sure.
to say there's just too many. Right.
Right.
But yeah. So we're gonna definitely get this party going. Okay. And get as many riders to sign up as we can. It's going to be about a week before I could really come forward and say, here, I got these many guys. I want to get them grouped together before we come forward. But
I'd
yeah,
already sent you like the some of the paperwork or some
right.
of
The application
the,
and bylaws.
the
Yeah.
bylaws. Yeah. Did you shoot a copy to Todd so he can?
I haven't done that yet. I'm going to have a meeting where I want to do it in person so we can go over them together.
And we can do breakfast or whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Todd, I was going to say, you want to do breakfast tomorrow morning?
Actually, I have a mission tomorrow. I'm going for a veteran.
Oh, okay. But again, everybody I've talked to, they're really excited about getting this thing going, getting this chapter going, and to have, like I said, the support of your chapter leading us in the right direction makes a huge difference.
But I would like to say guiding you. So I
Right.
just have another thing to tell you. So anybody, when you get your minimum, anybody that comes on after that's going to have to prospect. And so they're not going to have a full patch.
Right.
So that'll be up to minimum of 6 months.
Right.
So that's something. When you turn in your paperwork for this new chapter, that's it. It's for that as an original.
Right.
So you would be wearing like we wear original patches. We're original. And then if you get a prospect coming on, then they get patched in. They don't wear the original patch.
Right. I get it.
Original founding member for that chapter.
Well,
Hey, guys, I have a couple questions that I, if I could add Carl or somebody to answer that it just occurred to me that I wanted to get information about.
There's Diane. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Todd.
Well, where does the name come from? Sacred Few.
I don't remember. There was a lot of different names that we came up with, but we are out here in California, and there's a lot of motorcycle clubs. Some of them we had to be careful with what we came up with because of different clubs out here. That's why you see our colors are different. We
Okay.
stayed away from the other colors, right, Roy? You were
Correct.
with
Correct.
me when we came
Yep.
up. We had a bunch of names.
Yeah, we
And
had
then
so many names. It was hard to select which name would
I was
that
just
would be
wondering if there's a
appropriate.
special significance to it or something.
Well, it's we take pride in it that it's sacred few. It's only a select few, and
Okay.
that's where we came up. And then we had a friend of mine drew up. He does tattoos, but he drew up the badge in the back, the centerpiece,
Hmm.
and all that. And then the 4 stars are for the 4 founders.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And then another question: did you have to get permission for this? Somebody brought this up to me, especially, excuse me, with all the different clubs out in California. Did you have to go perform a commission or anything and get permission from guys?
We don't do that.
Okay,
You see on the back of our cut, it says LE, Law Enforcement MC Motorcycle Club.
the
we don't-
LE makes it you don't have to.
We don't ask permission. Yeah.
Okay,
And we've had some people ask to, oh yeah, talk to these people first, or
Right.
We don't do that.
Okay,
We're not-
like I said, this is new to me. Somebody brought that question up, so I thought I would ask.
Well, we're not a 1%er club. We're not one
Right,
of
obviously.
and we don't ask for permission.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're writing for law enforcement, what's your primary goal, and you're writing for veterans and first responders.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody having an issue. Now, I've talked to a few guys about the same thing, and they said, Mike, as long as you're doing LE, you know what I mean? That's all that matters.
It seems kind of silly that you would be going to these guys for permission, considering your name is LE in there.
Yeah,
And
well,
there's
yeah,
a-
law enforcement, yeah.
And then Roy can attest to it. It's big out here, isn't it, Roy? In
Yes, it
California,
is.
with
Huge.
different
Yeah.
clubs.
You see
And
so many different clubs with different names and what have you. We want to make sure that we weren't going to come up with something that would be similar. Or we just wanted to be a little different. I thought this name would be perfect.
but
I
some
love
of the other clubs, I think I could say 1%ers and stuff. I know a lot of them. So we mind our own business and they mind theirs, and that's how we operate.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't foresee that it would be an issue, considering the mission, of
There
what
is
you're
some
doing.
there is some rules though that we go by too. Is if we're on the freeway, we don't blow past another club. We'll talk about all those road rules, and it's all about courtesy and respect.
Good. Good. Love it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like I told you, Carl, when we first started talking about this, I thought, wow, I like this. And then the more we talked about it, and the more I thought, you know what? I ride all the time. Now I like to ride for a purpose.
There you go.
Out there and support a veteran, support a first responder,
Correct.
support the police, whoever. But it just gives you a purpose to ride with.
So also another thing too is there's no rules for if you have a wife or something and you're going to go on a ride or something, and you're wearing your cut, you can ride your wife. You can have people that are not in your club or your chapter. They can ride with you. It's just that there's a protocol. They ride in the back. If you have a prospector, there's all kinds of protocols that we'll go through with you on it. So
Okay.
And then, hey, not to change the subject, but Roy, Michael used to live in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that also the area? I don't have to tell you about the weather or anything about it.
Yeah, I started out as a 21 dealer. I moved up
Really?
to a pit boss. Then I was the shift boss at the Desert Inn.
And
And
housekeeping.
Yeah, the executive housekeeper for
Stardust?
no, I'll be damned.
No,
But
that
anyway,
wasn't a casino.
Yeah, I ended up being the executive casino host at the Desert Inn, before I left. So yeah, I love Vegas.
How many years has it been since you've been since you lived here?
We're not even going to talk about that.
Okay, very good. Okay, and
Yeah,
when's the last time you were
it's
in this
been
area?
I was in Vegas probably about 3 years ago, 4 years
Okay.
ago.
Well, I don't have to tell you. You know, it's a go-to area. It's a big
Oh,
tourist
it's
spot.
changed. It's
It's
changed.
changed a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people moving here. That's the biggest change. The traffic's building up. We just hope that it doesn't turn into California, Southern California, with all the traffic. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
a lot of folks are coming in, and it's happening really quick. But the
When
other thing, there's a lot of businesses coming in as well, which is good for the community.
when I lived in Vegas, Vegas was Vegas. It
Mhm.
was all these independent owned hotels. Now it's in conglomerates of all these major chains that are buying up all these hotels and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
um,
Your wife, rest her soul, she worked in one of the casinos,
so she was at the Circus.
and
Oh
I
wow.
remember she was dealer.
Yeah, she started a 21 dealer. Yeah,
Um,
it's a great town. But guys, again, I think Todd, are you as excited as I am?
I am. I like I said, I love the idea. I love the concept. And again, my passion is now writing and writing for a cause.
But if for it to work, you've got to have the
I'm on.
brotherhood, and that's what lacked in the other club that we were at, the
Yeah.
brotherhood. So you have to have that for it. Just like if you're married, you got to be able to get along with your wife for it to work.
Sure,
And
Right.
this is
sure.
very important that you have the brotherhood so that you're all together and you succeed together.
Right. And I think it's important, Carl. I think you would agree with me. We always try to bounce things off of each other to reach that point of success on everything that we do. And every community is important to us. I mean, it's a lovely deal.
When
Well,
we
guys,
when we came up with the patch design, it was everybody was involved in it.
all right.
So
Well, it's a great looking patch. I got to tell you,
Yeah, it's very cool.
Thank you.
I love it.
so
No
again,
problem.
like I said, we'll be out there for you guys when you get it all
Yes.
together,
Yeah.
and we'll come out and celebrate with you guys. And
Yeah.
not in
That
the
sounds
snow.
like a
It'd be great to
No,
would be great to meet you guys in person.
guys,
Yes,
I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. And I just want to say, if anybody's interested that is out there watching this podcast tonight, if they're interested in writing for a purpose, with a great group of guys that we're going to put together, please reach out to me, inbox me on Facebook, call me. If you know me, just reach out to me, let me know, and we'll sit down and we'll get this thing going.
and
Carol,
then
thank you for what you're doing to help us with this. And Roy, you're a good guy.
Well,
Well,
thank you guys both.
you're putting up with Carl, so you got to be a good guy.
Yeah, I tell you, he's really worked me over the coals to be this nice. Just joking.
Guys, thank you again for being on tonight, and
Hey.
you'll be working with a lot of us to get our foot in front of the other.
Love you,
So
Roy.
thank you.
Love you too, buddy.
Thank you for what you guys
Hey,
are doing
love
out
you,
there.
Mike. Okay. Take
Okay,
care, you
guys. Take
guys.
it easy. And thank you
You
so
take
much
care.
for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
Jeff.